All right, buckle up. Fox News alert. Deputies and Coast Guard apprehending 24 Haitian migrants found aboard a fishing boat off the Florida coast.
And at the southern border, there's new concern about gangs as we learn the brother of the suspect accused of killing Laken Riley has ties to a notorious Venezuelan street gang.
Griff Jenkins is live in Eagle Pass, Texas with the details for us. Griff?
Good morning, guys. There's an undeniable spring surge at our border. In the past 5 days, we've had more than 7,000 migrants at the southern border being encountered. 5 days, 35,000. That's more than the population of Eagle Pass proper. Let's start in Melbourne, Florida, at Sebastian Inlet. That video, body cam video you were showing, this is officials as they apprehended 24 Haitian migrants that came in on this fishing boat. What was the telltale sign for authorities? No fishing poles on that boat. 2 smugglers were arrested. There's concerns with the unrest in Haiti that we will see a lot more boats just like this. Now, let's go 2,500 miles all the way to the other coast, Jacumba, California, where we have seen the thousands of migrants. I brought it to you live as they came across, many of them clean, shaven, nice clothes, rolling a rolling bag. Something was up. Well, we're now learning from a report out of the Daily Mail that Chinese smugglers on the Mexican side are working with Mexican cartels. They're being called snakeheads that help these Chinese get all the way across in places like San Diego County, where they're seeing a 500% increase in those Chinese migrants. Now, let's end in Athens, Georgia. The tragic story of Laken Riley, who should not have died because of Jose Ibarra, the Venezuelan illegally in the country. We're learning more about his brother, Diego Ibarra, who was arrested on the same day for presenting a fake green card. Now authorities believe he may have ties to the notorious Venezuelan gang known as Tren de Aragua. They were linked to that NYPD cop beating incident you will remember that we have shown many times on the air. This gang, Tren de Aragua, which translates roughly to Train of Aragua. Aragua is one of the largest states in Venezuela. That transnational gang was born out of the Tocorón prison, which is the most dangerous, notorious prison in Venezuela. That raising a lot of concerns, guys. We'll send it back to you.
Yeah, I also heard the brother, when he was at the Texas border, bit one of the border guards. Shouldn't that have been a sign that maybe we should turn this guy around with his neck tattoo?
Yeah, that's a great point, Brian. In that case, there were 2 migrants. The other migrant was arrested. Diego Ibarra was not, but they're looking back at him, trying to trace every affiliation he had. The concern here is that, much like we have seen MS-13 become a problem in the United States, they're worried this new Venezuelan gang, Tren de Aragua, or TDA, as they're sometimes called, may try to establish themselves in the U.S. And look at the examples we've got in New York City, beating the cops, and now this tie in Athens, Georgia. It looks like a pattern that authorities are worried they could be trying to establish themselves here.
All right, Griff, thank you very much.
I guess who's upset by it? Other gangs. Yeah. Evidently, the Bloods, the Crips, whatever gangs, I'm not up to date on the latest in gang growth, but they are taking on the Venezuelan gangs who want their territory.
That's exactly
what's going on here?
Well, it's out of control, and we got to give credit to Ron DeSantis, because what you saw with these Haitian migrants, those same agents, Fish and Wildlife, have been at the Texas border training with Texas DPS on how to deal with this stuff. He was ahead of the curve. Not only did he send National Guard there, but he sent his guys so they can be aware of what's happening in their state when they're traveling by boat.
And you know, with those images from that Griff just showed from Florida with the body cam. So on last Saturday night, Kathy and I told you about this, Kathy and I had dinner with our friends, Fred and Jackie Wacker of Chicago in Hobe Sound. So we're driving home on the beach road, and there's a bunch of cop cars straight ahead. We thought it was a DUI checkpoint. It was not. And then we drove a little further. There were like 50 police cars, Martin County Sheriff, police, all sorts of things. Turns out there was a fishing boat that came ashore at Coral Cove Park there on Jupiter Island, and 8 Haitians and Dominicans jumped out, apparently wearing life preservers, ran into the brush, started hiding. They caught 3 of them immediately, and then all night long they looked for the other 5. They eventually got them, but Kathy and I were talking about how the difference is between how they handle these migrants coming into the country in Florida versus in Texas, Arizona, California.
You hear those stories when you go down to Florida. We were on like a little island down there.
Yeah.
At the tip of Florida, and they said all the time they see the boats come up on the beach and they have to call the authorities.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.